Good morning, everyone. This is welcome to Delta Entertainment. I am your host, Lincoln Kenobi, and today we got two articles that we're going to be talking about today. Two articles involving with Dragon Age: The Veilguard, and let me tell you, it ain't looking good. So let's take a look and see what we have here. We have the first one. Moon Studios CEO describes Dragon Age: The Veilguard writing as infantile and terrible. And another one is titled, Dragon Age: The Veilguard, that has been reported, will not have any DLC or expansions as BioWare shifts focus to Mass Effect 5. That second one does not look very good as well. If the report is true on what's going on with the second one, then they know that Dragon Age is a complete flop, that it's a failure. So let's read this article first that I have here, this first article, and then we'll get to the second one. So here we go. Moon Studios CEO Thomas Mailer described the writing in BioWare's recently released Dragon Age: The Veilguard as infantile and terrible. In a recent post to X, Mahler, who is currently developing No Rest for the Wicked, wrote, I grew up in the 80s. Even as a young boy back then, I always thought TV shows were low-effort trash, because every show back then was trying to be as political correct as possible. Every show was about happy families, always trying to paint a perfect picture, always being careful not to talk about anything that could be in slightest controversial. Then The Simpsons and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air dropped, and that stuff suddenly felt radical because every now and then the writers on these shows dared to approach subjects that were real. And whenever they tried that, it resulted in episodes that were memorable. I like to think it's because the writers managed to put some of their own experiences in there, he continued. Then, in the late 90s, The Sopranos dropped, and suddenly it was clear that TV shows didn't have to be trash, that the episodic format could actually be used to give even more insight into characters, their trials and tribulations, etc. And it kept going from that point on. We saw more TV shows that delivered excellent drama, like The Wire, Breaking Bad, etc., etc. He then turned his attention to Dragon Age: The Veilguard and video games. Looking at games now, it's clear to see that we are apparently moving back to the Stone Age of political correctness. I just watched a Dragon Age playthrough, and it's quite unfathomable and how infantile and terrible the writing is. Everything feels sanitized and dehumanized. I don't know why we're suddenly thinking that is okay. Your job as a writer is to write about things that are heartfelt, interesting, and true, to draw people into the world that you created. And if this is the best you can come up with, you shouldn't be a writer in the first place, he asserted. I hate to sound so harsh because I'm sure these people had the best intentions in mind, but this is what happens when art is created by amateurs. When we have to talk on eggshells and don't dare to approach difficult subjects, you end up with a bland and bad product instead of art, he continued. Always approach writing from a human angle first. Draw from your own experiences and dare to approach subjects that might seem risky. Because often magic happens when we're okay with making ourselves vulnerable, Mahler concluded. Mahler is not the only one to criticize the game's dialogue and writing. Ex-user Sayel, who put together a compilation of scenes from the game describing it as cringe and garbage. Streamer Asmongold also shared his thoughts about the game's strong saying, personally, as somebody who came into the game, like I've never played Dragon Age before, this is my first game in the series, I thought it sucked. He added it wasn't bad, so it wasn't terrible, but it's just it's not really good, it's not really that good. Later in the video, he also stated, I don't like the dialogue at all. You know, it's like this, Bo. Everyone has a right to make their opinion. And it's like this. I made my thoughts about Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I didn't want to play it. What I've read, what I've seen, it sucks. The game sucks. And I'm glad Thomas Mahler finally put himself out there, man, to say it. The game sucks. You have activist writers that are doing these kind of things. You have people that are in the DI community that are doing this kind of shit. If you put this kind of nonsense in your entertainment, your product, your legacy is gonna go down the drain. You know? Alright, let's get down to the other article. Excuse me, I gotta put the fan on. God bless. Alright. Damn, it's hot in here. Whew. Because I'm fed up with this nonsense, bro. That's why. Now, this is the report, another report. So the title is, The Veilguard will not have any DLC or expansions as BioWare shifts focus to Mass Effect 5. So, what I've been reading right now is that when they finished Veilguard, the Dragon Age Veilguard, they're going to go forward on doing Mass Effect 5. And it looks like they are going all out with that. So, a new report details that BioWare will not be developing any DLC or expansions for Dragon Age, the Veilguard, but instead turn their entire focus to Mass Effect 5. George Yang at Rolling Stone reported on Halloween, with Dragon Age the Veilguard now complete, BioWare confirms that there are currently there's no plans for downloadable expansions. He added, the developer's full intention is now shifted entirely to the next Mass Effect as their current project. A subsequent report from Kat Bailey at IGN did detail that BioWare is not completely abandoning Dragon Age The Veilguard following its release, but will support the game with quality of life improvements and a handful of smaller content updates. Given the game will not have any DLC, it calls into question EA CEO Andrew Wilson's bravado surrounding the game during a recent earnings call. Wilson touted that the game had breakout potential. He told investors, it's an amazing time at EA, and in 2 days we will launch Dragon Age The Veilguard. It's been 10 years since we launched its predecessor, Game of the Year winner Dragon Age Inquisition. He continued, early critic scores are strong and reflect the high quality depth and detail in Niche's action-packed adventure. The reason why the critics are strong is because they only kept the good ones. The bad ones they deleted. The bad ones they told those criticers they need to force correct their statement. And they didn't want to, so they left. So, we expect Dragon Age to be a great example of how our blockbuster storytelling engages and connects fans in truly unique ways. In the question and answer portion of the call, Wilson was asked by Raymond James Financial Group analyst Andrew Mark, I have seen some very strong reviews so far, but as far as you can tell, what drives that kind of breakout success we've seen in some single-player fantasy games in the last couple years? And how do you feel that Veilguard might compare along with those lines? Wilson responded, I certainly think Veilguard has breakout potential again. 10 years ago, Dragon Age Inquisition won Game of the Year and was a very strong performer for us in the conduct of our business. This is entertainment, and so while much of our business has moved to live service, moment to moment, deliver innovation and creativity for a deeply engaged community over the course of time, this opportunity to bring its incredible high quality creative storytelling, set an amazing world with rich characters, living out those stories, you are able to capture that moment in the entertainment success almost certainly follows. He explained, and we see that in the context of movies, and we're seeing in the context of TV seasons, and we see in the context of video games, when we think about what we have with Veilguard right now, we have a storied studio in BioWare. We have a storied IP in Dragon Age. We have a team that took extra time to make sure that world was rich and the characters were interesting and the story was compelling. I think we are going into a market that has limited competition for this category of game given some of all the moves that have happened across the broader industry. And so, while I think it is too early to predict the outcome, the critical reviews have been incredibly strong. The team feels really energized by what they have delivered, and my sense is that yes, it has breakout compatibilities. He retaliated. While Wilson claimed that the game had breakout capabilities, EA's chief financial officer Stuart Canfield shared that the company was maintaining our assumptions for our upcoming Dragon Age The Veilguard launch this week, and our partner titles slated to launch in quarter 4. He later added, turning to quarter 3, we expect net bookings of $2.4 billion to $2.55 billion, up to 1% to 8% year over year, largely driven by the launch of Dragon Age and continued growth in our EA Sports FC franchise. One would think that if Wilson was as confident about the game's breakout potential as he claims, he would be investing in DLC that players would want to purchase for the game. However, it seems that opposite in this case. Rather than putting more development cash into the game, it looks like the directive has been given to cut looses and move on to Mass Effect 5. And listen, so far, I don't think it ain't gonna have no DLCs, man. They have really messed up, bro. I mean, the art, the animation, and I'm sorry. No way, man. No way that this game is gonna succeed. So, hey, those of you that are playing Dragon Age and are hating it, I feel sorry for you guys, bro. But we did try to warn you. We did try to warn you about this. But then if those of you that like this kind of stuff, man, hey, props to you. But hey, that's going to be it for the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So if you like the video, hit the like button, share this video, post a comment below, let me know what your thoughts are. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button for me. All right, guys, you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.